Ready? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making this beginner-friendly, super cute crochet headband. So this headband is so fast and easy to make. We literally just made it here in about 30 minutes, and we decided to add a really cute little flower embellishment with a button on the top as well. I do have a tutorial for the flower, so I will link that below or up here on the screen for you so you can check that out when you're done watching this video. All right, so if you're ready to get started, let's dive right in. So I just want to show you what this is going to look like when it's done. We added this cute little flower and a button when we were done. This flower, like I mentioned, is a free tutorial here on YouTube, so I will link that for you below. But we also added a decrease section in the back so it's not super thick behind your hair and ears. So in this tutorial, we're going to be learning how to increase and decrease during crochet. We're also going to be learning this rib looking stitch using half single crochets. So let's go ahead and get started. So of course you're going to need some yarn, a crochet hook that matches your yarn. You're going to need a kitty and some scissors. We are using this sugar and cream yarn, and this is their cotton yarn, and it's in the colorway cornflower. It's just a really pretty periwinkle blue. And on the back of the label, it should tell you the appropriate knitting needle size or crochet hook size. So you're going to want to get whatever fits the yarn that you are going to be using. So I have my daughter Olivia here with me today. Say hi, Liv. And she is going to be doing the technique while I walk you through it. So we're going to start off by making a slip knot, and to do that you just make a loop and then pull your working yarn through that loop and just tighten it, and then you can place that on your hook. And then you can pull on the tail or the working part to tighten it on. Now don't make it too tight because it makes it really hard to get into those stitches as you're going. You want this first round to be nice and loose. The next thing we're going to do is chain 12, and to do that you are going to just yarn over and then pull it through the loop. That's one chain. Yarn over, pull it through the loop, and then just keep doing that until you have 12. Now this is for the headband. If you're doing ribbing for a sweater or something like that, you can do as many as you need for however wide you want it. All right, so here we have 12 chains, and now we're ready to begin. So the first thing we're going to do is a single crochet in each of these stitches along. You're going to skip this first one that your yarn is currently coming out of. To do a single crochet, you're just going to go into that one stitch, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, and then pull through 2, and that's your first single crochet. Now if you'll notice, she has 2 little V's here that create your one stitch. She's just going in this back loop is what it's called. So here's our next loop right here. She's going to do another one in that. So we're just going to go in through the loop, yarn over, pull it through 1, yarn over, and then pull it through 2. And so she's going to go ahead and just single crochet all the way down this row of stitches until you're done. If you're a new crocheter, I would recommend counting your stitches when you're done. You'll have 11 when you're done because we skipped over that first one. Okay, so here we are done with our first round, and when you go back to count, you should have 11 of these little stitches on top. So these little V's right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. All right, and now we are going to chain up 1, and that's just a preparation for our next row. So chain 1, turn your work. And now we're going to do a half single crochet, and we're going to skip this first one, and we're going to go into this next one. So you're just going to go in, yarn over, pull through both. That's your half single crochet. Okay, so we're going to do that all the way down. So go in through your stitch, yarn over, and pull through both. And so it's really easy, and you're just stitching in again to that back loop. So here, just so you guys can kind of see better, here's one stitch right here, this little V. She's just going into this back loop. If you go into the front, it's going to change the look and you won't have the ribbing look. So make sure that you're crocheting into that back loop. Okay, we're at the end of our row, so she's just going to chain 1. She's going to recount to make sure that we're doing okay. And we're going to turn our work and just keep going. So you're going to continue doing half single crochets in the back loop of each stitch back and forth. You should always have the same amount of stitches as whatever you chose, however length you decided. So just always just recount and make sure that you're getting all of your stitches. And I'm gonna go ahead and let her go for a little bit. We'll throw some music on top of this so you can kind of watch her crocheting, and then we'll show you what it looks like when we're all done. Okay, so here's what it's looking like so far, and you can kind of see that we now, if we turn it sideways, we now kind of have what looks like rib stitches. So knitting through or crocheting through that back loop is actually what's giving us that kind of ribbing look. So we've got the vertical stitches now, and go ahead and hold that. And here's kind of what it's going to look like after you get more rows done. So I'm going to go ahead and let her finish working on this, get a few more rows done, and then we'll meet you back here. Okay, so we've gotten about 12 inches done, which for us was about 54 rows. But your might be different depending on your yarn or your hook size. But what you want to do is just lay this across the top of your head and then make sure that both of these end up right below your ear or right behind your ear. And now what we're going to do is we're going to decrease so that the part that goes underneath your head is slightly thinner, and then we'll increase and come back up when we attach it here. So we're going to show you how to do the increases and decreases. Right now we're going to be working on the decrease. Okay, so this is going to be a half single crochet decrease, and we're going to chain 1 as normal, and she's already done that because she had finished her row. And to do the decrease, you're going to insert into 1 stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then insert into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And you've just basically decrease those 2 stitches into 1. The next stitch we're going to just do single, so regular, and then we're going to do another decrease stitch. So insert, pull through, insert, pull through 3, and then the next stitch we're going to just do a regular and then a decrease. So you're going to alternate your decrease stitches and your regular stitches all the way down. And we've just decreased that to about 6 or 7 stitches for us. Yours might be different depending on how wide you've chosen to make your headband. We're going to chain 1 and flip it around. We're going to do another round of decrease. So we're going to do the same thing where we're decreasing a stitch and then doing a single stitch and then doing a decrease stitch all the way down. And it doesn't matter how wide you've chosen to make your headband. You're just going to follow this step until you get to the end of your row. And then always at the end of your rows, don't forget to do a chain before you turn. We're going to do one more row of decrease. Okay, and now we've got ours is about an inch or so wide, and then that is going to make a nice transition to the back of your head so it's not super thick behind your hair. All right, and now she's going to continue doing the rib stitch where she's just doing a half single crochet through the back loop of each round, and she's going to be doing a chain at the end of each round just like that until we get it long enough to go all the way around the back side of her head and meet up at that other ear. Once we get there, we will go ahead and show you how to increase back up so that you can get back to your matched stitch count. All right, so here is where we're stopping. Ours is about 18 inches unstretched. Unstretched means I'm not pulling it like this. I'm just setting it on my ruler and measuring 18 inches. Yours may be different, just go enough to where you're meeting back up around, all the way around your head by your ear. And now we're going to increase, and since we did 2 rounds of decreases, we're going to do 2 rounds of increases, and we're basically just doing the opposite action of what we did before. So we're going to start out, she already did her chain because she had finished that row, and she's going to start again. So we're going to do 2 half single crochets into the first stitch. So go through the stitch, pull through. We're going to go through that same stitch, yarn over and pull through. So now we've just made 2 stitches in that one. The next one we're just going to do a regular half single crochet. And then in the next one we're going to do 2 in the same stitch. So there's 1 and we're going to do 1 more. Okay, chain up to complete your row and turn your work. And now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to do 2 half single crochets in that first stitch, so 2 in the same hole. All right, and we're going to chain up and do 1 more round. And then you're going to end with a chain 1. All right, so here we have our little kind of whale tail thing looking here. And you're just going to keep increasing until you have the same amount of stitches here as you did when you started. We had 11. So now we're going to grab our other end and we're just going to make sure it's not twisted. Although that would actually be kind of a cute look, maybe. But we're going to go ahead and make sure it's not twisted, and then we're going to stitch these ends together. So we're just going to lay them together flat, just like that. And then we're going to twist it this way so you can kind of see what we're doing. And we're just going to half single crochet these 2 stitches together all the way down till we get down to the end. And for this step, we're not going to go through the back loop anymore. We have just been crocheting through this back loop. We're going to actually go through both legs of the stitch. So we've gone through, we're just going to yarn over and pull through both. And we're just going to do that all the way down the edge. And just make sure you're lining up your stitches as you go. They might be a little bit wonky, but once you get them stitched together, no one will ever know. All right, we are on our last stitch. We're going to pull through, and then you're going to yarn over and just pull through your hoop. And at this point, we're just going to cut off a tail, and you can just pull that all the way through. Then the last thing to do is to just weave in your ends. And I like to just kind of weave them back and forth. Don't pull too tight. I just kind of pull them and then re-stretch out my fabric so that you can't tell. And then we're going to just weave in this last end. And you're just going to want to hide those ends, and I just go through the stitches. And there you go. All right, and now we can cut off those ends. And now where we did this, you can kind of see that seam, but not really. It's pretty seamless, but I still like to turn it over so that we have that more finished side. Now we've decided to embellish it with a cute little flower, and I do have a tutorial on how to make these little crochet flowers on my channel, so I will link that below. So I think we're going to put a little flower on there plus a cute little button, and then we'll have an adorable headband. Now you can use the same yarn you used to make your flower to sew it on. I actually can't find that, so I'm just going to use this white cotton purler thread. It's just super thick thread, but I would normally just use the yarn. All right, so we're going to come up behind the flower, and we're actually just going to whip stitch basically around the center of that flower. And so just don't pull it all the way. Leave a tail so you can tie it at the back. So we're basically going to whip stitch all the way around the inside ring right here. So she came up right here. She's going to go down right there in the center. Like that. Okay, and then now we're going to come up like right here and come down in the center again. And we're just going to do that all the way around the center of our flower. Okay, now go down through the middle and then turn it right side out so you can see the back side. Okay, so now I would just tie this on the back in a little knot. And if you want, you can actually use this same thread to attach your button as well. And you can weave in these ends or just clip them. Nobody's going to see this side. Okay, and we're not going to cut our thread yet because we are going to attach our button using that thread. So you're just going to come up from the back and try and get through that buttonhole. And sometimes it's easier if you poke the needle through first and then just grab the button. And then go back down. Yep. There you go. And you can maybe do 2 or 1 if you feel like that's secure enough. Okay, flip it right side out and then just tie it in the back. And there we go. Super cute little headband. It decreases in the back so that it's not, you know, bulky behind your ears or underneath your hair. And we're going to have Olivia model it for you next. So this crochet ribbon can get quite a bit stretchier after you're done. So make sure as you're trying it on that you are stretching it while trying it on so that it's not too loose when you're done. But I think it turned out really cute. I'm going to have Olivia do a little spin here for you and just kind of show you all the way around and that adorable little crochet flower we added with the button. All right, guys, that was it. As you can see, it was a very easy, hopefully beginner friendly, and you guys were able to follow along. I think it turned out really cute. Olivia has recently started crocheting, and so this is just another one of the projects to add to her stash. If you have any comments or questions, make sure to leave them below and I will get back to you. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us for today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. As always, make sure to thumbs up and subscribe if you liked it. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye. Okay, you ready? Maybe I need to scoot back. Scoot back. Raise it up just a little bit. Okay, why do you seem taller? Show the, when I say that, I want you to like show the flower. Ready? Okay. This is super fast and easy. Let's get... Mandy, shh, zip. Oh, Jaxie, no, that's going to be a disaster. There's like a ring inside the flower, so we're just going to kind of whip stitch around that ring. Don't pull it all the way through. Hold on. Okay, little hairs. Stop grabbing my hair.
Why can't you get it?
It's too big. My head is smaller than yours.
Well, that's because I'm just filled with so much brain. Arriva, dirty.
Arriva, dirty.